Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, family and friends, and Save, Invest, Repeat family and friends. This is Mike Sneed coming to you this afternoon with a special topic. This is going to be the first time I actually is going to try to teach a subject. This is first time doing this, so I'm a little nervous on this one because the first time I taught in a long time since I first got out of college. I taught school for about 2 months before I went into the engineering field. So this is the first time I actually taught with a board. What I'm going to be talking about today, I'm going to be talking about appliance repairman versus engineer. When I first graduated from college, I went to work as an engineer. And while I was working as an engineer, I'm going to give you the actual, show you the actual money I was making as an engineer, the expenses I had as an engineer, and when I became a appliance repairman, I'm going to compare the two and let y'all show you what's the difference and which one, you can see which one was the better career. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for people to join in. I know it's afternoon. A lot of people might be just coming home from work, sitting down, and maybe they're getting the notice now. So I'm going to actually give them a couple of minutes. While I'm waiting on that, I'll give you a kind of overview of what we had this week. This week in the Appliance Center, I had my new employee start. He started on Wednesday. He's going very well. I'm actually surprised. He's from Venezuela, and you know the problems they're having over there. And he was an actual business owner. He owned a networking company over there, and he had to leave because of what they have going on. His company, believe it or not, now over there we've been talking all week. Business owners is kind of getting to be like the mob. People want jobs. So you don't go send your resume to a company. You go to the neighborhood gang leader and you tell them you want a job. And if you're a business owner there, and if you're a business owner in Venezuela, you go to the gang. The gangs will come to you and tell you, kind of like the mob, saying, "Hey, you got to hire this person." So he had the gangs coming to him, telling him he had to hire people, and if he didn't hire them, that he had to still pay them and he had to pay the person a salary and pay them off, and to the point where he just said he couldn't do it anymore. He left because they were going to kill his family, and he came here. And he had a company where he had about 7 employees. So he's been he's going to be a good asset here because he actually has ran this company. He's been here a little over a year, and he's coming in. He's going to be perfect because he is an entrepreneur. He still thinks like an entrepreneur. So that was a good. Hey, how you doing, Arlene? So he was a good asset. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. What I got the actual numbers from when I first graduated out of college. I was like I said, when I first graduated from college, I was an engineer, and after working as an engineer, I got laid off. But I'm gonna put the actual numbers, and we're gonna work the numbers. And this is something that you might not see much in school. A lot of people don't teach us this. And this is something that you're seeing now with the government shutdown, where a lot of the politicians are coming up and can't believe people can't make it 1 month without having to can't make it 1 month without getting a paycheck, because a lot of them haven't had W-2 jobs their entire lives. Their parents didn't work W-2 jobs, so they can't relate to people who work W-2 jobs. And I'm going to show you the difference between being a business owner and also being a W-2 owner. So here we go. I'm going to start off. I actually wrote the numbers. I was going to have my calculator and kind of work it out with us, but then I realized most of the time I use my phone as a calculator, so I didn't bring another calculator. So I kind of worked it out on paper, so I won't be in front of y'all trying to do no crazy math, and y'all be talking about my math skills. So here I go. I'm going to start off when I was a W-2 employee. So I'm going to put it up here. Hopefully you can see. If you can't see it, let me know. If the sound is bad, let me know. I kind of move the mic a little closer or whatever. But I was a W-2 employee, and I had just got married. And at that time, my wife and this is my wife and I combined incomes. Our combined incomes at that time, we were making, this wife plus me, we were making about $80,000 per year. That was our combined income, what we were making. So from that combined income, we would bring it home, we would get paid. This is your pay at at about 80,000. You're getting about $6,600 per month. That's gonna be per month. Don't mind my spelling and anything. I'm just gonna put it up there. That's per month. Now, before we got this money, somebody else had to get us. This right here is old Uncle Sam, the tax man. So before you get your money as a W-2 employee in the state of North Carolina, by the time you add up state, federal, your Social Security and all that, you paying about 40% in taxes. So 40% is coming out. So what happened in that 40%, we only brought home this amount of money. That's what we had. That's the actual cash we brought home. That's how much money we brought home. But the crazy part was that just getting married, we had all our expenses. This is what all our expenses totaled to when we first got married. All our expenses total up to. These were our expenses right here. That's how much we had to pay out every month. So every month we were negative about we was negative about that amount of money. So every month you're constantly robbing Peter trying to pay Paul because you don't have enough money to pay all your bills. And as far as expenses, to let you know our expenses is not that far out from today's expenses. I'll give you a total of what our expenses were at that time. So I'm going to go over here and here go what our expenses were. And it's pretty typical of what you see today from regular households. Insurance, that's including car and medical and everything, was about $700 per month that they taking out your check and stuff. Phone, TV, internet was about $300. That's including your cell phone. We had to have a landline and the cable TV. All that mounted up and internet mounted up to about $300. Food, that was about $550 per month. This all per month, and that's spending about $150 a week in food. And that was including we had just had a newborn baby, and we're paying daycare. Not daycare, but buying formula and all that, and Pampers. Every time we're going to the grocery store, it was costing us about $550 per month. Clothes. Our clothes, we weren't dressing that well. If people remember us that time, we were spending less than probably $150 per month. We were budgeting that amount, but we we could never spend it because we never had the money to get it. So and getting haircuts and stuff, getting your hair done, we had actually started doing that. My wife was doing her hair in the bathroom, and I was trying to cut my hair and shape it up with a razor in the bathroom because we just didn't have money to go do those things. All right, daycare. This right here, the daycare, that's after my daughter was born. It was going about $1,300 per month. Prior to that, it was about $600 per month. We just had one child in daycare. But a year later, we had 2 kids. So by the time I got ready to go to Appliance repairman, our daycare bill was $1,300 a month. And that daycare, I just kept it in there with the formula because I'm going off the old sheets we had, and this was about 18 years ago. So we pay about $1,300 a month, and these are pretty similar to what stuff costs these days. Gas and car payments was hitting us about $500 a month. That was for a car and putting gas in to go back and forth to work. And this right here, the old what we call child support. Child support. And this right here make a lot of men mad because of this when they W-2s. It hit me $800 a month. So that's what our total bills were, and it was coming up to this amount. We was only bringing home this amount every month. Was negative that amount. So what happened, as you can see, is you're a W-2 employee. Before you get any of your money, Uncle Sam takes all of your money. He takes all of it. And when he takes all your money, and this is all you got left to pay your bills with, then you stuff like this, like child support, ruin somebody's marriage. Because what happened, your spouse start to look at that. If you got a spouse, or we're gonna put a wife. If you've been divorced, you got a wife with child support that you got to pay alimony or something for. Your spouse will get mad. If you go try to buy a new car, that'll break you. Daycare. That's why a lot of people can't afford to send their kids to the best daycares, because it's just not in their budgets. And what happened? The politicians haven't had a W-2 in so long, so they don't know how all this stuff feels. They don't know how all this stuff feels. But that's why where our total bill came in at $4,300. And that right there will cause you to have an argument all throughout the month because you don't have no money. So what happened, lucky for me, but I thought it was bad, I got laid off. I got laid off as an engineer. This me as an engineer. I was making about $50,000. My wife was making about $30,000. And this me as an engineer. All right. This is a... Damn, I can't even get it out here. Good. This right here is gonna be me as an engineer, and this is gonna be my wife as a biologist. I just put that as a biologist. That's what we're making combined. At that time, $50K and $30K. I'm a bad speller, so don't disregard my spelling. So there we go. Engineer and biologist. 50,000 is engineer, 30 is a biologist. Okay, so I got laid off. I was no longer able to work as an engineer. I started working as an appliance repairman, going out fishing, fixing people washers and dryers. And I had just one truck. So this is me by myself working on one truck. I went from making $50,000 per year to where I was making $500 per day. I was making $500 per day. That's doing 5 stops and making an average of $100 per stop. So I went from $50,000 per, like I said, this is just me alone, not my wife or nothing. I went instantly almost from $50,000 a year to $500 a day. So I was making then $2,500 per week. And this is just me. That's not my wife. This is just me. I was making $2,500 a week, which then that goes into making $10,750 per month. That's what happened with one truck. Now here go the kicker now. You see here, as a W-2 employee, Uncle Sam get his money. And then you get yours, then you gotta pay your bills, and you negative. Well, when I went to this person, now right here, I'm not incorporated yet. I'm what you call a DBA, doing business as. I'm doing business as over there. So now I still got the same amount of expenses going on. So I'm gonna take my expenses out. Those are the expenses. And now after I take my expenses out, I'm left with that's how much money I'm left with. And then what happens? I got all this cash, and I can do whatever I want to with that cash, because I got all this money now, because I paid all my expenses. And because you're a business owner, at that time I was a DBA, I got that much money left. And that's not including my wife. That's just me. And what happened, I didn't know as a DBA, I instead of me paying Uncle Sam up here, I had to pay Uncle Sam right here. So you pay Uncle Sam here, which would be 40, and that would leave you after your 40%. That'll leave you with something like that. I would have had that much plus. I was negative there. I had that much plus. But here you are. You've been broke right here, negative all month for a year. Now I got $6,000 in my pocket at the end of the month. I'm not thinking about I got to pay taxes. I didn't spend this. I spent all of that. I spent all of that. I don't know where it went. Hey, it's like the basketball players. Right then, I'm in my mid to late 20s. I'm about 28, 29. And at the end of the month, after I paid all my bills, I got that much money left over, and I'm doing crazy stuff. I'm just running wild, worse than basketball players. At the end of the year, when I do my taxes, I only supposed to have spent that much, but I spent that much. And now I got a tax bill with the Internal Revenue Service. And now I'm in trouble, because now I don't have that money to pay the taxes that I owe Uncle Sam. And I can't go out here and work enough money to generate to pay them. Because if you ever owe Uncle Sam, it's not like you paying a regular bill. No, every month that you're behind, it's almost doubling. So I had to find out a way to actually service this right here. So as an engineer, I had negative $1,660. That's my wife and I combined. When I became an appliance repairman, I still had a positive of $2,000 just on me alone, not including my wife's salary, but I had spent all my money here. So what happened, I had to find out a way to reduce right here. I needed a way to reduce this tax bill I owe to where I didn't have to pay taxes. So what happened, I started going to these conferences. You can go to, in every industry that you work in, they'll actually have conferences once a year where you can go and actually talk to the industry leaders, and y'all get together and y'all work these numbers in your conference. And what happens when you're working those numbers in your conference, you'll meet guys who've been here and done the same thing you've done, and they can tell you how to fix this thing. So I went to this conference, and I started meeting with the actual business owners in my industry, and they showed me what I needed to do to fix this. So now I'm going to show you what I've done to fix this. So here it is. As an engineer, my wife and I's salary combined, I was always negative. Didn't have no money. We didn't, like I said, we couldn't even go get our hair done. I became doing business as I had that much money left out after every month. I spent all of that, but I didn't realize I had to pay taxes, and that's how much I was supposed to have spent, but I had spent that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I done to change it. And this right here is what nobody shows us. The joy of becoming a business owner. Okay. And this is the actual formula. Let me grab this. This is the actual formula that I use right here to actually to retire and get out of the rat race when I was in my early 30s. So what they told me, I needed to start a corporation. So now I got a corporation. And we went through my numbers, and they told me I needed to have, in order for me to service the amount of debt and stuff I had, I needed to have at least 3 trucks running. So now I'm going to put truck 1, truck 2, truck 3. So I went out and got three technicians. Now, each one of those technicians is bringing me in $2,500 per week. Because they're doing 5 calls per day, 5 days a week, making about $100 per call. So now I got truck 1 making $2,500 per week. This truck making $2,500 per week. That truck making $2,500 per week. Now, here go the joy of having a business having a business and having multiple trucks like that. Remember I told you that that $4,300 I had in expenses? Well, when I was working, I had to pay all of that myself. I had to go out there and work and pay all that $4,300 per month myself. And that's what a lot of people do. Is they want to stay small, as small business owners. They don't want to expand. They want to go out here and they work. You can pay that because, as you saw, I made enough to pay it. They want to keep all of that, but you have to be the one who go out there every day and do the work, and you have to be the one also who gonna be out there struggling all week making it work. And if you get sick and stuff, nobody else gonna do it. Your bills won't get paid. So you want a lot of small business owners don't want to expand. They stay by themselves. Well, what happened if you start adding multiple trucks and you have a corporation? Now I can split that 4,300 up amongst all these 3 trucks. So now as I start to go, and it's going to be a little bit more because as I bring people on, you're going to have some variable costs that go for bringing people on. So some stuff going to increase, like our insurance increased a little bit. I had to get multiple business insurance, workman's comp, and all that stuff. So what happened? I took that 4,300, and what I done, this truck had to pay $1,500. This truck paid $1,500, and that truck paid $1,500. So now what's happened? This truck right here, when I was all by myself, I had to pay the whole $4,300. But now I got it divided amongst 3. He only had to pay $1,500 to carry all my expenses. He paid $1,500 to carry all my expenses. He paid $1,500. And the more trucks you go, the more you spread it out, the smaller this number get, because you're spreading that cost off amongst other people. All right. So now, and that right there, that $1,500, that $1,500 included paying the salary of the people who work there every week. So I was paying their salary and paying all my expenses and stuff. It added up per truck. It was like $1,500 per week. So at the end of every week, now at the end of every week, I got $3,000. I got $3,000 left. Versus the other way, I was having, I think at the end of every week, the other way, I was getting maybe about I was getting $2,500 at the end of every week with me working by myself. I'm getting 25. Now I added 3 trucks. I actually increased, and now I'm getting extra $500 per week. So that give me $3,000 I got per week. Now from that $3,000, what you want to do? I'm gonna go out, and this right here is gonna be what I call my operating account. So all the money is gonna come into my operating account. Once it comes to my operating account, over here I'm gonna take 25% of that, and this right here is gonna go to what I call my owner's pay. And this is a totally separate bank account from here. So as soon as the money came in, I would multiply it by 0.25, and what that would do, that was saying over here, $750 per week. So out of that $3,000, I'll put $750 per week here. Right here, I would take 10%. And this right here is what I call my profit / investment. So what happened, I would take there every week, I'll put $300, and I'll put that in another bank account. Then over here, I will multiply it times 15, and that'll be my taxes. So over here, every week, I'll put $450 into this account. So these, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 different bank accounts. This bank account right here and this bank account right here is at a totally different bank than where this one is at. So when it comes in, that $300 goes into that account. Nowadays I got them linked where you just hit and you can transfer it to another bank. I transfer it to another bank where I don't have a debit card for it and I don't have any checks for it. So I actually have to physically drive over to that bank to get it out. So that way I'm not tempted to pull it out and stuff unless I really have to. And same thing here with my tax account. It's going to another bank where I actually have to drive over there to get it. Not something I have easy access to. So now what's happened every week, I'm actually putting $450 in my taxes. So now I don't have that problem anymore of waiting till the end of the year and can't pay my taxes because I ain't got the money saved. I've been saving it up the whole time. Now I'm taking this money every week and I'm putting $300 in. So this $300 that's coming in every week, I'm actually now stacking up money where I can I can actually go out, buy property, start new businesses. Also, what I do here, I used to take half of this, wherever I saved up at the end of the quarter. So what would happen? Every 3 months, I would take whatever I had stacked up in there, half of it, and I would use that, and we would do a trip. At that time, my daughter was doing travel cheerleading, so I would use that to every weekend we were going to some city. We were traveling across the country doing cheerleading. So I used that money to do that with the kids, so they had a good time. And I also use that money to actually start my other different business ventures and stuff that I'm doing here now is still coming from this money. The money to start this service center is coming from out of here. This right here fund this service center. Now right here, and here go the thing. This 25% for this owner's pay. You see, I took $750 right here and put that into what I call my owner's pay. But now I put $750 in that account, but now I only I only paid myself $500 per week. So I'm not taking the whole $750 actually spending it. So I'm paying myself $500 per week, and I'll leave $250 in. I'll leave $250 in. And why you want to do that, you don't want to take everything out the egg that go there. Because what happened at first, as you know, is when I was making $2,500 when I was making that $2,500 per week as a appliance repairman, I had to pay all my expenses out of that $2,500. But now all my expenses are paid up here. So when I get down here, I don't have any expenses. That $500 that's going into a bank account, that's just going into the bank account. Because what happened, the three workers I have up there have paid all my bills, and I got $500 that's going into the account every week. I'm putting $500 in the account, $500 in the account, and I'm leaving $250. So what happened, every time you leave this $250, the next time you come, you have $250, and it keeps going. And what happened eventually, that $250 keeps stacking till it gets to a point where on your owner's pay you have a big buffer where you have maybe 5, 6, 7 months worth of pay stack up here in your owner's pay because you're not pulling it out. And that's where this is what the stuff that Congress people have done, because this is what their parents and stuff have taught them. So when they see this right here and they start asking you, well, why you can't make it a month? Because what happened, their parents have told them, and they're actually using this formula where they're not paying themselves. They're not using all their paycheck. Because what's happened, they keep stacking to the point where if you don't get a paycheck for 6 months, you can still pull $500 out because look right here, in a month's time, you got 2 paychecks you can pull from. And what this does when you do this right here, it make it consistent. Because as entrepreneurs, you always gonna have these cycles where your business going up and down, up and down. And if you don't have a buffer to actually stack the money up to keep it constant, it'd be good times you have a lot of money, and bad times you be starving. And your wife and your husband and your kids don't want to hear that. They want things to be constant the whole time. So what happened, you keep that buffer going and you keep building it. So now you got a constant flow of cash all the time. And what happened then, when we got this constant flow of cash coming in all the time, now you get to the point now where you don't have to work anymore. Because now I got these 3 guys here, and all I have to do is make sure that I'm giving them 5 calls per day and making that $500. And all this formula right here does is work itself. So now all I'm doing, I'm watching the formula. I'm not watching the guys. So that's how I was able to retire early at 30 by using this formula right here. and I still use it now. This formula right here, a good book to actually go into more detail on it. It's called Profit First. If you get that book, it goes into more detail on it. And this right here, like I said, our parents don't know anything about this. The school system don't teach you anything about this, but other communities know. So this is the importance of why you want to have an actual business, because now once you start getting your expenses and stuff, you can actually have other people pay your expenses, and you don't have to work. All you have to do is just monitor them. So that's how I was able to retire early. I still use this. Now, like I say, right now I still have the 3 trucks. Now I have the service center. So now I have the service center now will start bringing money down, and it'll go here and get split out. I have my consultant stuff that comes here. It goes to the 3 and get kicked out. So all the money out for all my different businesses and everything I do is going to come here, and it's going to go through that formula, and it's going to get spread out. And so that's how I do it. It works well for me. Other people, I don't know. You can take the percentages and play around with it. I had a young lady ask me earlier this week how they can save extra money as a W-2 employee. I'll be honest, I haven't worked a job as a W-2 employee for God knows, going on almost 18 years. So I wouldn't be good to tell anybody what to do as a W-2 employee, because I haven't done it in so long, and I wouldn't even know where to even start. Because whenever I start thinking about I need to get extra money and stuff, this was my mind go. I don't go to a W-2. I just don't do it. Cause just think, say for instance, if I wanted to say I wanted to make an extra let's say I wanted to make an extra $39,000 next year. Suppose I wanted to make suppose I say I want to make an extra $39,000 next year. Let me show you what the math would do. How you can when you have these trucks and stuff. Let me show you this. When you an actual business owner. All right. So suppose right now there I got 3 trucks, and they're doing 25 calls per week. And this is why another reason. This is another reason why we can't compete with other groups of race of people, because they know this. They teaching their kids this. They not telling them to go get no job, because you can't multiply money fast enough as no job. You can't work and earn money fast enough to do this right here. So let me show you. All right. So right now they're doing 25 calls per week, and that adds up to about 1,300 calls per year. All right. And 1,300 calls. I got 3 techs, so that's going to give me 3,900 calls total. All right. Now suppose right now our service fee is $85. Okay. Now suppose I just said I want to make me an extra $39,000 next year, and I ain't got to work or do nothing. All I got to do is just bump my service fee up to $95. Most people ain't gonna complain you jumping up for it. Most of them won't even be able to tell if you went up from 85 to 95, because right now everything is hidden into flat rate pricing, so they wouldn't be able to tell if you moved up. And I can just go into my we have the software where we have all our prices. I can go into my software and just add $10. I add $10. They doing these amount of calls, so I multiply that by 10. I just made an extra $39,000 in a year, and it didn't have to do anything. All I had to do was just go to my computer and just say, hey, I'm gonna put add $10 onto every call, and I got extra $39,000 for that year. And you can't do that. I don't know many people at their jobs get a $39,000 raise. Another thing, just right now they're doing 25 calls per week. Just suppose, and they're doing 5 calls a day. Suppose I said I want to, and the average technician, a good technician can do 7 to 8 calls per day, but I just do 5 because of traffic and some people are driving, and I'm happy with the 5 calls. So my board is showing backwards. You say, James? Okay, I gotta fix that. I gotta figure out how to get it from showing backwards. I gotta fix something with my camera. Are y'all able to? Let me go through some of these words. These things. Are y'all able? Are y'all able to actually understand what I'm follow it though? What I do, I try to. I gotta figure out a way to flip it on my camera. I gotta get another camera so I can flip it. Like I said, this is my first time, so y'all can bear with me. I'll go back maybe later and redo it with the board showing the right way. I wonder why it's showing that way. Anyway, we'll figure it out. That's one of the things we have to do as an engineer. I'm just out here trying it, and we're going to figure it out. Like I said, this is the first time I've done it in this studio. As we go on, I'll get better at it, and we'll get better boards and stuff, and we'll be good. Okay, y'all can't understand. Thanks. Okay. Suppose I told them right now a good technician can do 7 to 8 calls per day, and I do this from time to time with them, and they don't really know what's going. They know they got extra calls, but they don't know why. Like right now, I'm bumping in extra calls because I got to go out of town next month, and I need to stack up some money so I can go out of town. So just suppose right now they're doing 25 calls per 5 calls a day, 25 calls a week. I'm going to just add them 1 call. So now they're going to do 6 calls per day. So now they're going to be doing 30 calls per week. So now 30 calls per week. And what I'm doing, I just multiplying about 52 weeks in a week, 52 weeks in a year. And that now we got a total of 1,560 calls. That's how many calls they're doing right now. If I just added 1 call per day, that's how many calls they have. And now we're getting an average of $100 per call. So now that one truck that's out there is going to make me $150,000. And before then, if I'm doing just the 5 calls, that one truck is making about $129,000 per year. And these numbers are actual numbers that you can do with appliance repair business. And you don't. A good thing about appliance repair business, you don't have to actually you don't have to get an actual license like you do with HVAC, electrical, plumbing. And it makes about the same amount of money, so anybody can do it, and it only takes about maybe $30 worth of tools, and you can get a $3,000 truck, and you off and running, making this type of money. So now I went from making $129,000 per truck to now I'm making $156,000 per truck. So now that's an extra $27,000 I'm getting per truck. Now so now that's it. So now I just by adding 1 call, I can increase my profit. That's money in my pocket. That's not money got to go anywhere. That's money in my pocket right there. I can increase it by $27,000 by just adding 1 call. Just by adding 1 extra call and not doing anything. I ain't got to add any more trucks. I ain't got to hire anybody. I can get an extra $27,000 per year. Now, the next thing I want to show you, the joy of having this corporation. And here go the big kicker here. Here go the big kicker. When you're a W-2 employee, you're paying about 40% in taxes. Remember, I told you, even though I'm putting $750 per week into that owner's pay account, I'm only taking out $500, and that $500 is not a W-2. It's not a W-2. This is what we're going to call a distribution. That's a distribution. Okay, that's a distribution there. It's not coming as a W-2. I don't want no W-2s. I don't want this. I want no earned income. None. I don't want no earned income from anybody. I don't want no job. I don't want no earned income. Earned income is right here, 40. Distribution is right here. So with that distribution, on that $500, that's all I took out. All I took out was $500. All I have to pay, all I have to pay on that $500 is 15%. So what I owe in taxes is $125. That's all I owe on taxes. Now I got all my bills paid. They paying all my bills. So my bills was paid up there at the top. All I brought home was this $500, and I paid 15%. That's what people get mad about with Mitt Romney, Donald Trump, and all them. They say they're not paying any taxes because their secretary getting earned income paying 40, you paying 15. So where I was paying almost $2,000 some dollars a month, now I'm paying less than $600 per month in taxes. Because that's what I pay taxes on as a distribution, only 15%. Now, he got the other thing too. I try to tell people, this right here is something, especially for the brothers. Because right here is earned income. This is gonna be earned income, and you want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from that. All this stuff right here is going to be what we call passive, or we call portfolio income. You want to get to that side, because on this earned income, that's how this for brothers and stuff who might be going through alimony, child support, and all that. They use earned income to compute your child support and alimony payments. They can't use passive income and whatnot. So what happens if you got earned income? They then can go out and say, okay, he got earned income. Then they'll set your payment there. If you use this distribution right here, they can't set your payment. They have to go to the mandatory minimum, and then you have to prove it. They have to actually prove your ability to earn a certain amount of money. But you got your accountant and stuff that can go fight for you. And now you're out of the child support court. You're more into the business court. Now, if you can then go in and negotiate your child support. Here you can't negotiate. It's whether the state say you gotta pay, you gotta pay. Here you can go there and y'all can fight and you can negotiate. The other thing too, earned income. When you retire, the government only puts a cap on this right here is capped. When you retire. So once you retire, the government says you only can earn so much earned income before they start cutting off your Social Security. Over here is unlimited. Unlimited. You can earn as much as you want in passive and portfolio income, and it doesn't affect your retirement. So that's the other reason too why you want to go to the corporation. And this is what I use now, where I retired when I was in my early 30s. And I still use it now. That's how I'm able to fund my different businesses and stuff, by using that formula. It really works it works miracles. I'm telling you, after about a year or two of using that formula, you have enough money stacked up where your bills and stuff be on autopilot, and you be talking like the politicians. You be like, why people can't make it a month? Why they can't make it 2 months? Because you're saying you think you'll be under the assumption that everybody knows about this, even though we don't. I'm gonna see if we got any more questions right here. Go through some of the questions. Yeah, thanks Arlene. Yeah, please share it with Jeffrey. Share it with many people you can. Like I say, this is stuff that I'm gonna be teaching down here in this service center. I'm gonna be teaching the young guys this. Right now, they probably won't. It probably won't mean much to them right now because they don't have to pay any bills. But hopefully later on they might come back to it and look at it. But I am going to be teaching this type of stuff here with the business. And the book name again. Oh, the book name is Profit First. Let me write it down. You get this book, Profit First, and you definitely want to get that. The book name is Profit First. And like I said, I'm a poor speller. So that's the book there, Profit First. If you get that book, it'll go into more detail about how you do everything. And it might even have something in there for people who are W-2s. Like I say, I only tell people what I do and what works for me. I couldn't make it work as a W-2 employee. So I can't tell you what to do as a W-2. But as a business owner, that's what I use, and that works. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see what you got here. Let me spin this back around. Okay, trying to read the messages. Well, that was me coming to you today with my trying to show y'all how I got what's the difference between being an appliance repairman and when I became an appliance repairman versus when I was an engineer. Engineering was a good field. I enjoyed it. I don't know what they pay now. I don't know. I ain't been in the field in so long. I don't know what they pay now. But still, if you were a W-2 employee, if they're paying you $100,000, you still gonna end up paying somewhere between $40,000 in taxes. You know, they're gonna take their 40%. And that's the other thing too. Like a lot of people say, the people with the shutdown of the government that's happening right now, they're saying are people working without getting paid. Well, the average American work until May without getting paid because 12 months out of the year and they take 40%. So you really don't start making any money till May. So those first 5 months that you're working out the year, you're working for the government anyway because that's going all the taxes, and you don't start really making any money until like May. So everybody right now is working for free. So if you're working as a W-2 employee. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in. I might be down. Hopefully, I can be down at the house on Sunday doing some, finishing up some stuff on the plumbing there. The guys will be here this weekend. The high school guys working on washers and dryers. That's going really well. Next weekend, if y'all got to catch me on JT Hustle, he's actually coming out here to the shop and he's gonna do a show here at the actual shop. So I'm excited about that. So he'll come here, and I might film same time he's doing while he's filming me. I'm gonna try to run my stuff at the same time so y'all can join in. And like I said, go over to YouTube and Save Vest Repeat, and like the channel. Like I said, now I have an actual place where I can come in and actually start making some good videos. I'm gonna fix the board, figure out why it's reversed, and I'm gonna get that taken care of first. And we're going to actually start making some good videos. We're going to make some training videos too, actually doing repairs here. So I got the stuff set up in here, and I think it's going to go really well. And thank y'all for tuning in. And once again, if you got any questions, concerns, people who have reached out to me, I want to thank y'all. I've gotten a lot of calls over the last couple of weeks. People call me, want to get advice and stuff. I really appreciate that. I hope the advice I gave you was able to help you. And if you have any questions, concerns, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to try to help you as much as possible. And if y'all like stuff like this, let me know. I'll start adding more stuff like this maybe once a week. And more of the business side of it and not so much of the inspiration stuff telling you. I'll actually start working numbers for you and showing you maybe marketing, how to actually do cost of doing business. That's another thing too. I was telling somebody. This right here, what I've done is just simple, very simple. Most other race of people, they do cash flow analysis, and they do them out there. Like I got the numbers here. They're doing the numbers of their cash flow analysis for maybe 40, 50 years. Five is about the least I've seen. So for 5 years, they know how much money they're gonna make. They're not living paycheck to paycheck, and they work them out 5 years, 50 years, 100 years. So you are working week to week, and they 50 years ahead of you, and they just keeping you in those numbers. So when people gotta get laid off, it ain't nothing personal. It's just that his numbers are getting skewed, and he gotta get his numbers in check so he can keep those numbers, the profit coming for the next 50 years. So and once you start seeing it like that, you don't take it so personal. And once you start playing the game, you know, hey, this is something that just happens. So even though it's bad that it happened to people, but you got to get in there and start playing the game along with them. Like, once again, thank y'all for tuning in. If you have any questions, concerns, let me know. And go over and subscribe and like the video. Thank you.